And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity. First, I'm Stanton Salter along with Naomi Tucker. Big Stronach 5 show to get to. Today, I have a little cold, but it's not going to get in the way of a Stronach 5. Could be a life-changing score this afternoon. We have a big carryover. Let's show you what we have in that popular national wager. There it is, a little shy of 168,000. It's going to be well played. This is going to be one of the most popular multi-race carryover bets in the country today. The pool's expected to get up around $1 million today in the Stronach 5. Naomi starts right here at Laurel Park, race 8 with that low 12% takeout.
Well, the excitement's been building all week. When the sequence came out, I think both of us started handicapping pretty swiftly because this is going to be a very big payout. So I'm very excited to present our tickets to everyone and, of course, to see the tickets that Tim and Keith have made for us as well.
Absolutely. So there's the lineup of races. Starts Laurel Park, race 8, about 3:49 Eastern time. We have the other board that gives you, well, let's just go by that. Okay, there we go. Leg A, Laurel Park, race 8, 3:49. Then leg B is going to be Gulfstream Park, race 8. That's a big field going long on the turf. Leg C is on the Tapeta at Golden Gate, race 3 for Golden Gate. Leg D, Santa Anita, race 3. Bob Baffert with one of the favorites in there. 3 well-bred first-time starters in leg D at Santa Anita. Then leg E at Gulfstream Park, race 10. So this is going to be well played. The Stronach 5 today starts at Laurel Park. Pool expected to get around $1 million today in that Stronach 5. As I wipe my nose with a little Stronach 5, good luck there. All right, so here we go. That's the Stronach 5 lineup. Let's show you a picture of the main track today, and let's get right to it here. We'll show you the conditions. Main track is fast today. Temperature about 34 degrees. The wind not nearly as big a factor as it was yesterday, Naomi.
Oh, it was very windy yesterday. It had a strong wind in their back on that back straight. So that should have definitely contributed to some of the faster fractions at the beginning. But today it should be a little bit more temperate.
All right, so here we go. Race 1's going to kick off the Rolling Super High 5. That's a low 15% takeout in that Rolling Super High 5. We have it every race with 7 or more horses. That starts race 1. Also, race 1 kicks off the popular Early Pick 5, mandatory payout on this Early Pick 5 with that industry low 12% takeout. I have a ticket for the Early Pick 5 today. I'll take a shot with this, see if I can pad my bankroll a little bit for the Stronach 5 that starts race 8. But here's the Early Pick 5. Race 1, it's a maiden 10. You got to go deep in those races. I go 4 deep here. Race 1 with the 1, 2, 5, 6. Maybe I can get a price there with the 5 Thirsty again at 9-2. I'll single in race 2. I'll single on the 4 Hufflepuff at 7-5. I'm 4 deep there in race 3. And then race 4, just a 2 and the 6. Race 5, the 2, 6, 8. $48 Early Pick 5 ticket today starting race 1. All of our tickets for our multi-race plays are on the website, laurelpark.com, underneath the handicapping section. So here we go. Race 1, we're going a flat mile. Maiden claiming $10,000 for filly and mares 4 and up. And I go with the 6, my top pick. This might not be pretty here, Naomi. You know, at one time I choked during the early show at Pimlico. My apologies. I ate nuts before the early show at Pimlico, and I was choking through the whole early shows. It's Preakness week, and now an untimely cold I have here for the Stronach 5 show. So you don't have the 6 on top. You have the 2 on top at 5-2.
I do indeed. Tapetizer RVF for Neil Morris. The reason is she wasn't the quickest away, but she trailed quite a fast pace there. And I do think that the mile might help her be a little bit more comfortable because I felt like she was a little bit outpaced going over 6 furlong, and a mile here should really suit her. Now, it's a bit of a tricky one because there's a few in here that have single buyer speed digits that, aren't as attractive to pick on top, but I liked her in this place here, as well as JD Acosta, one of my favorite jockeys, one of the strongest jockeys in our colony on board. All
right, so we like the same 4 horses there in race 1, just a little different order. I go 4 deep with the 1, 2, 6, 5, 1, 2, 5, 6 to kick off the Early Pick 5. Early Pick 4 starts in race 2. A nice starter allowance here for filly and mares going 6 furlongs. Naomi, you have an Early Pick 4 ticket. Let's check it out and see how you play it.
I do indeed. I start off in race 2 with the 4 and the 5. I do think they both have a very good chance in this race. I think they're basically the class of the field, so that made it quite easy for me to select them both. Then race 3, do something similar with the 2 and the 3. 2 L's Meow for Jamie Ness. I think that he can be very competitive here. Then also included Boat Over the Hill from the same stable with Kevin Gomez on board. 2 L's Meow's got Trevor McCarthy on board, very much liking the Jamie Nesbon. He's always on the roll, currently hitting at 22%. Then race 4, I'm going 1 and 2, with the 1 being my key horse, I'm a Dancer for Bobby Plummer. I think that 3 races back, there is some form that could be really, really handy in this race. And then my actual play comes in race 5, because I'm hoping that having selected about 5 horses, the 1, the 2, the 4, the 7, and the 8, I'm going to try and lock in a bit of a price. I'm hoping to get away from all of the chalk in all the other races and hopefully get a bit of a payout. Like the one for Scott Lake, who always hits strongly here. Carol Cedino had, I think, about 3 wins yesterday.
Yep.
So she's been doing phenomenal. So her and Scott teaming up on the 1 gives me a lot of confidence.
All right, so very affordable $20 play for Naomi's early pick 4 ticket. Let's take a look here. Race 2, one of our features of the day. We're going 6 furlongs, 25,000 starter allowance for filly and mares 3 and up. The 4 Hufflepuff is your 7 to 5 morning line favorites. Let's start there. Big effort coming off the little freshening she had this winter time. A big third against First Level Allowance Company. That was a nice allowance race. Lucky Trinity, Combat Queen in there. Now I think she gets a little easier spot today in for this starter allowance condition.
That was my thought as well. I think this will be much easier for her against some less strong fillies. That was a strong race she came out of, very much like Damon Ludovico, because I know that he can fire on all cylinders. If I'm looking at her last race, I thought she did that well. She was right on the pace. She was on the tail of the leader. Wasn't the fastest of times. That was my only concern, but I very much think that she's outclassing the field quite a bit here.
All right, so we both have the 4 on top. The 5, Pretty Edgy. What an impressive debut win she had. Let's show you that video back in December for Maiden 25. She went off about 6 to 1 for Ricky Silliman. Here she is in front, turn of her home. She just keeps on going. She wins by 7 1/4. Big 61 Beyer speed figure. They give her a little time off after this big maiden score, but she's been working lights out here at Laurel Park. She just worked 47-4 February 21st. Look at this win. Nice win there by Pretty Edgy in debut.
Yeah, aside from that really impressive last furlong, basically the whole field is gone and she's the single horse left on the track. I think that one of the key takeaways from this race is that she was on the lead and she was pressured early. And as a first-time starter, you think that they can get a bit fractious from that. They can get a bit nervous or get a little bit annoyed, but she wasn't. She stayed calm. She just did her thing and she got on with it. And I think that showing that professionalism is really going to carry her through her career.
All right, so we both like her. We use her in the exacta. The 2, Come and Get It for Marcus Zuleta. First start for this filly in the Zuleta barn. Jesse Cruz will ride this filly. Hadn't run since early December down there at Tampa. Second down there. She had a nice debut win on the synthetic at Prescott last July. So kind of a hard filly to read here. Now making her first start in the Marcus Zuleta barn.
If she comes up back at the track just shy of a 3 months layoff. Now, I'm a slightly bit worried about the continuous layoffs that she's had. I think she might have had some physical problems. It's tricky to get her to the track. Looking at that last race, I did think that was a good effort of her. She went really wide on the turn. She was the sole chaser behind the winner there, Night Bright, who then ran back to finish second at Gulfstream Park over 6 furlong, running a 67 Beyer. So that was a pretty solid backup there of the winner. And she was the only one chasing or coming even close to her. So that was a good effort by her. I'm slightly worried about keeping her sound and how she's going to perform here today.
All right, so we both have a 4, 5, 2, 3 there in race 2. The Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race 3 today. Nice little carryover to get you going for the weekend. Around 3,100 exactly for the Rainbow Pick 6 carryover today starting in race 3. Tim Tulloch, he has a ticket for it. Let's check it out and see how he plays it. There we go. Very affordable, $32 play. He's going to use his single in race 8. That's the first leg of the Big Stronach 5. He's going to single there on the 12. A handrail from the far outside for Lacey Gaudette. Handrail looking for 2 in a row. So there's Tim's ticket. You can study that ticket some more on the website, laurelpark.com, underneath the handicapping section. So here we go. Race 3. We're going a flat mile, claiming 16,000 straight 3-year-olds. My price play of the day in this race, the 8, Victory Given for Jose Corrales, 6 to 1 on this filly by Frack Daddy. Angel Cruz will ride. A big effort 2 starts ago with a 48 Beyer speed figure. Wide last out against starter allowance and didn't run very good. I'm hoping he can bounce back to a bigger effort today. I think he gets a nice trip on the outside, and I think he's at a better level today than that race on February 9th.
I had a look at his race on the 30th of January, and he actually jumped inward, bumping the the horse on his inside. Then he got into a box seat and dropped back slightly. He did get an inside run. He had to wait for a gap though, and then after he finally found a gap, he got going and was driven out quite strong. Now they did also go fast that day, so I do think there's plenty of angle to actually take him on your ticket for sure.
All right, so we both like the 8 a little bit. You have the 2 on top, 2 L's Meow. Sharp is 1-2 in a row for Jamie Ness. Well, now was claimed by Jamie Ness, 1-2 in a row for Jerry O'Dwyer. Now first start off the claim for Jamie Ness.
The only concern I have with 2 L's Meow is that he needs a fast pace to run into, because that's what he made full use of last time out. He was not that close, but they were going quite fast, and he was running good, decent fractions there as well. And he showed that he has a good turn of foot at the end. He did close on the best part of the track, so that's the only thing I would downgrade about him. But I feel like if he gets a little bit of a setup, he can do very well here.
All right, we like the same there, same group there in race 3. Let's turn the page. Race 4 is going to kick off the late pick 5, industry low, 12% takeout on the late pick 5. Starts right here in race 4. We're going a mile, claiming 5,000. Never won 2 lifetime for filly mares 4 and up. The 6, my top pick here. Trading Sense for Amy Cortez. Weston Hamilton will ride this filly by Golden Sense. A couple sharp efforts coming off the layoff. Now third off the layoff. I think she's in good form, and I use her on top.
I think the best race to look at with this mare is the 24th of January. That over a course and distance here, I think that was a decent effort. It wasn't enough for me to put her on top, because I feel like there's some other fillies in here that could just do slightly better. But she's shown that she can run up to those buyer speed figures to put her in the mix here.
All right, you have the 1, I Am a Dancer on top. Yomar Ortiz with the win yesterday on Ticker Tape Parade. He rides a 7-year-old mare for Bobby Plummer.
Now I think she could be tricky, but I'm hoping that if she gets a bit of a smoother ride than what she's had in the past. She's had a bit of sort of bumpy rides that she basically was either a slow braking or on the rail and couldn't really get a gap. And I'm hoping that if she gets that really smooth setup, that she can do much better. I like that race the 29th of November, but as you can see, she got checked there and she really had to get going again. So I'm hoping that Yomar Ortiz can keep her out of trouble today.
All right, we're right on time. We want to save a bunch of time to cover that Stronach 5 starting in race 8. The pool's expected to get up around $1 million. We have a couple videos and an interview to show you for Laurel Park race 8. We have some videos for the other Stronach 5 races as well. Let's get a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
And they're off! Second in the 2-path. Ground on her inside. Race. Of the 12 as they roll into the backstretch.
All right, welcome back here. Late pick 4 starts in race 5. We're going a flat mile. Filly mares claiming 5,000. I go with the 6-1 shot on top here. Da Filly, a recent winner. That was for Nickel 3 Life, late January. Trevor McCarthy rides today for trainer Sal Ramirez.
Yeah, I think she can take full advantage of the strong pace that's going to be set in this race. If you look at the 22nd of December, she was chasing the pace there. She was on the rail. She had to go 5 wide when she started closing, and she did do that very well. She didn't win there. She placed 3rd, but I think that she showed that she can be right in the mix at this level.
All right, you have the 8 on top here on the far outside. The 8, Towson, one of the favorites here for Claudio. Angel Cruz will ride a bust last out. Didn't run very well. That was on a sloppy track. She's only 1 for 11, though, on a sloppy track. She gets a nice fast track today.
Well, aside from the fact that it was a sloppy track, she actually reared up, and she gave them about 6 lengths by literally rearing in the stall and jumping so late that it looked like she stood there for just a few seconds. So she really didn't help herself at all. I think she has a lot of speed, so I'm not worried about the outside gate. I think she can move forward and really dominate the race from there.
All right, so we both like the 2 and the 8. The 6 I use in my Exacta Frisky Whiskey for Eli Betancourt. Joan Rosado rides 9-2. You like the 7 there. The 7's a decent price. Big 12-1 on the 7.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting one looking at her. I looked back a little bit further in her form. I came on the race on the 20th of November, which was at Penn National, and it wasn't a very big field, but I did think that she showed a good buyer. So she had a good buyer speed figure there. She did go a little bit slow. So this was more of a price play, trying to sort of find an angle for her because she wasn't challenged on the lead. And I am thinking if she wants to move forward today, she's probably going to have Towson breathing right in her neck. So this is going to be a tricky one.
All right, we have a difference of opinion there in race 5, but that's why they call it horse racing. You like a nice price, and we both like a couple nice prices there in race 5. Let's turn the page here. Race 6, a nice starter allowance. We're going 5.5 furlongs, 4 and up. Never won 3 lifetime. My best bet of the day here, the 5 Military Hop. But let's start with the 3 Dirty Foot's going to be one of the favorites coming off the layoff for Robbie Bales. Let's show you what Dirty Foot did last June here at Laurel Park. A nice first level allowance condition this day, a real big second. Gets a 75 buyer speed figure this day. Now, he's been off since last June. Finds a nice, he's in for the tag today, so much easier spot today than this allowance field he faced last June. He's the 10 horse this day. Looks like he's a winner, just gets nailed right on the wire. But he was in good form last summer. He's been working well here at Laurel Park for the comeback. He has good form here at Laurel. You get Forest Boys. She's won on this horse before. The Dirty Foot's going to be one of the favorites. I use them in the exacta. We both pick against them, though.
Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid of that long layoff. Just shy of 9 months away from the track, and Robert Bales has had 11 starters with over 180 days off the track, but no winner. So that's slightly putting me off him. But having looked at that last race, he was asked aggressively to move forward, stayed close enough to the pace, about 2.5 lengths racing off the pace, and did come with a really nice turn of foot. It just got taken by the winner there, but the winner came far from off the pace. So I do feel like Dirty Foot actually put in a stronger effort there.
All right, so the nice starter allowance race there in race 6. Let's turn the page. Race 7 to kick off the late daily double. We're going 5.5 furlongs here. Race 7, maiden claiming 16,000 filly mares, 4 and 5 years old. I go with the 6 Sacred Lady, the 8-5 morning line favorite here for Lacey Gaudette. Could be a big day for the Gaudette barn. Joan Rosado rides this filly by Will Take Charge. A big second 2 starts ago, and not so good last out, but she's taking a big drop. She's taking a big drop to the maiden 16 today.
As you mentioned, Lacey Gaudette has been on fire. She's hitting at 30%. Got some really live chances today, and I do know that you can trust those horses to actually run up to form most of the days, because she does condition them very well. I liked Sacred Lady off that race 2 starts back because she showed very good early potential. She showed that she had speed to move forward, and then she was putting on the pressure from the outside, and she battled really game in the home stretch. She was on the better part of the ground, I felt, though, but I think that effort showed that she should be right up here today.
All right, so a cold 6-5, 1-2 there in race 7. Let's turn to the big race of the day. A lot of national attention is going to be on Laurel Park race 8 today. The popular national wager, the Stronach 5. There's the big carryover, a little over 100. Well, it's almost 168,000. It's expected to get up to around $1 million today in this Stronach 5. Industry low, 12%. Takeout means more money in your pockets when you hit the Stronach 5. Here's the lineup of races. Starts Laurel Park, race 8 at about 3:49 Eastern Time. Leg B is going to be Gulfstream Park, race 8. Leg C, Golden Gate Fields, race 3. Leg D is Santa Anita, race 3. Then we wrap it up, Leg E, Gulfstream Park, race 10. Naomi and I have a ticket. Keith Fustel, Tim Tulloch have a ticket for the Stronach 5. Everybody should have a ticket. Let's check out Naomi's first. Naomi, lead us through your ticket.
Yeah, I've gone.
And you've been on a roll. You've given out how many pick 4s in a row now?
3 in a row.
No, you
three in a row.
And the one yesterday was a cheap ticket, $12 ticket?
Well, it actually ended up being a $6 ticket because the last one got scratched. So it was actually effectively a $6 ticket, I hope.
But paid nice.
$103 it paid. So,
right.
Yes, we've been doing very well here. So I'm hoping to continue the streak. And obviously, when it matters, and that's here in the Stronach 5, because this payout is going to be huge. So start in race 8, home track for us here, Laurel Park. My top pick is the number 12 for the Lacey Gaudette stable. Really think that she has so much speed. Handrail coming from that wide gate. I'm not too worried because she can move forward. And I'm using a bit of a closing style horse in trimmed in grey. Bit of a long shot. Really hoping she's going to either come in or handrail. Then at Gulfstream Park, I'm going 2 and 7. It's a deep race, but they all are. And I do think that the number 2 unlock the potential can be very, very good on this. And then Golden Gate Fields are going on the over there, and I used the number 2 Mr. McLean because I think that last race showed that he's really up to scratch here. And then the 5 as well. Then we're going to Santa Anita Park, where I used the 3 and the 6. The 3 being Fresh Face is a first-time starter, but John Sadler really knows how to hit with those first times. 18% winners and 44% in the money. And her half sister, by Quality Road won first time out over 5.5 furlong, and her half sister by Mineshaft won second time out over 6 furlong at Santa Anita. So I thought that backed it up very well. And then the 6 is, of course, D-Bot Baffert runner, being in a very soft spot here. So you should never discount any of the Bob Baffert horses, but especially not in a race that seems to set up quite nicely for her. And then the last race is back at Gulfstream Park again. I go quite deep in that. I'm trying to lock in a bit of a price, hoping to get a good payout, and going the 1, the 5, the 9, and the 12 for a total cost of $64. But if you look at the potential payout, the pool expected to be over $1 million, then $64 seems like a drop in a bucket full of water. Right, Stan?
I like it. Very affordable play. Absolutely. Naomi's ticket, all of her tickets are on the website if you want to study them some more. LaurelPark.com. Underneath the handicapping section, here's my ticket, a $72 play. I think leg A here at Laurel Park could be a wide open affair. Filly and Mare Nickel 3 Life going 6 furlongs. Yes, the 12 Handrail, your morning line favored. Might be very tough if she gets to an easy early lead. It might be all over, but there's a lot of speed in this race. She's breaking from the 12 hole. She might get caught just a tad wide. I use her. You have to. The Gaudette barn going well. This Bug Charlie Marquez riding well, but might get caught a little wide. The other horse I'd like that you like, the one Trimmed in Gray, I like that horse as well. It sets up for a closing sprinter like Trimmed in Gray, but that filly might just get buried in traffic early on. I go with the second choice in the morning line on top. The 6 Crossing the Valley was the beaten favored at this Nickel 3 Life level last out. Didn't have the best trip, but finished okay. I pick that mare on top from the Robbie Bales barn with Alberto Burgos aboard. Now my long shot play here in leg A, the 10 Star Designers, 10-1 morning line for trainer Hammy Smith, one of our top trainers here in Maryland. Alex Cintron will ride this 4-year-old filly by Gio Ponte. Third off the layoff. I like that. And we're cutting back from route to sprint. I like that, especially in a race with a bunch of early speed. Might set it up. You know, Cintron, one of the top riders in this race, riding for one of the top barns in this race. You know, Cintron's going to give the filly a smart ride. He sees all the early speed in here. He's just going to try to take back and come late with the 10 Star Designer at 10-1. So that's a big price in leg A. Leg B is race 8 at Gulfstream, going a mile on the turf, claiming 16,004 and up. I go 3 deep there. The 7 Gosselently and the 8 American Ninja look tough. I like an 8-1 shot in there. The 11 National Honor with Paco Lopez aboard for Jane Sibeli. Sibeli and Paco at Gulfstream, 29% and a big positive ROI. So I think I have a good 8-1 shot there with the 11 National Honor in leg B. My single, I don't like the single in maiden races, but the 2 Mr. McLean in leg C. Golden Gate race 3 looks awfully quick. He's 9-5, 3-year-old by McLean's Music, who was the sire of 2017 Preakness winner Cloud Computing. This horse went very fast last out and got a little tired in the final strides to finish second. Might not have to go as fast early today, going 6 furlongs. Hopefully they can get Mr. McLean to settle a little bit. And it doesn't look like there's much early speed in the race, so I think he's going to get an easy early lead. So I single on the 2 Mr. McLean in leg C at Golden Gate. Leg D at Santa Anita. It's a tricky race. Santa Anita race 3. Baffert's the favorite in there with the 6 Reneem. I use that horse. I like the 8 Palm de Oro for Art Sherman, trainer California Chrome. I like that horse. Start off to lay off the 8 Palm de Oro. The 3 Fresh Face is a live Uncle Mo first-time starter for John Sadler. Naomi, you mentioned the pedigree notes there on the 3 Fresh Face and leg D. We'll show you a recent workout from Fresh Face, that first-time starter, number 3 in leg D, Santa Anita race 3. Leg E at Gulfstream. Going 2 turns on the turf, 16,002 life. I like the 1 Ninja Dust at 7-2, and I like the 4 Noble Lion at 4-1. So there's my ticket, $72 play. Let's check out Keith Fustel's Stronach 5 ticket, see how he plays it. He has a $72 ticket as well. Leg A here at Laurel Park. He has the 1 Trimmed in Gray, the 6 Crossing the Valley, and the favorite, the 12 Handrail. Leg B at Gulfstream. He likes the 5 Discreet Heat. There you go. That's a 20-1 shot with the Hall of Famer Edgar Prado aboard. man, that would be a big knockout punch to give you a $40,000, $50,000 Stronach 5 payout. If you get a 20-1 shot like that home, the 5 discreet heat. Keith likes in leg B. He also likes the 8. That's the Ninja horse, American Ninja. He likes the 11 as well. Paco Lopez and Jane Sibeli with the 11 National Honor in leg B. All right, leg C at Golden Gate, race 3. He likes the 2, Mr. McLean, in the 5, Big Perm, who's a first-time starter by Noble Mission. Leg D at Santa Anita. He goes 4 deep there. He uses the 1, Enriched by Deb, and the 2, Sparkling Gem. 2, nice price, first-time starters. He likes the 4, Pammy Dearest at 12-1. And he likes the Baffert horse for name at 5-2. So a couple, Keith has a couple. Sparkling Gem, the 2 is 12-1. So Keith with a couple 12-1 shots there in leg D at Santa Anita. There's his single. Going to come in a leggy at Gulfstream race 10. He'll single on the 4, Noble Lion at 4-1. Let's check out Tim Tulloch's Stronach 5 ticket real quick. There's Tim's ticket, $64 play. His single is the 12, Handrail in leg A. He uses the 12's Handrail as a single. Now he has another single, leg D at Santa Anita. He singles on the 5, Malibu Cat, who's 3-1. So there's Tim's ticket. You can study his ticket, all of our tickets, some more on the website, laurelpark.com, underneath the handicapping section. We have a bunch of videos and stuff to show you. Let's get right to it. The 12 Handrail, nice impressive win last out. Coming off the layoff, first start in the Lacey Gaudette barn. It's also Quinella time in race April. Let's show you the last race by Handrail. February 9th, went off at 10-1, got right to the front from the 1 hole. Has to fight it out at the end, but gets a nice win with a 51 Beyer speed figure.
I thought she did that very impressively, and also that she actually was on the lead from the start and got pressured by a horse on the outside the entire time. But that really didn't seem to bother her, so very much like that she kept cool and collected and really got the job done without any frills or fizz. So I think she's going to be incredibly competitive here. Was it Tim that singled on her in his Stronach 5 ticket? That's a good single.
All right, well, you caught up with Lacey Gaudette the other morning talking about Handrail. She also talks about the other filly she has in this race, the 15-1 long shot, Asiano. Here's Gaudette on the 2 fillies she has in leg A of today's Stronach 5.
So Asiano had a long layoff, trying her on the dirt. Didn't go well the first time, so we're just changing a little bit of a tactic, trying to see if we can shorten her up a little bit. There's a lot of speed in the race, so if she can make a run and close on the dirt, I think that she has a shot at this level. She's always worked well on the dirt, so we were a little surprised that she did not run at all last time. So, you know, like I said, we'll kind of see how she comes off the layoff. She might just need to get back on the turf. Handrails came out of her last race really well. She has she showed a lot of speed last time, which wasn't really in her past form. Unfortunately for her, there is a lot of speed in there, but I do like the outside post for her, and I think that she doesn't need to be in front 3/4. She can set off the pace a little bit and hopefully have the same kind of run that she did last time.
All right, so there's Gaudette. Doesn't sound like she wants this filly to get caught up in an early speed duel, especially if she's going to be 4 or 5 wide going around that far turn.
Oh, she mentioned she has 2 runners in here, Asiano and Handra, and they're very different in the way they race. Asiano is more of a closing filly, and Handra is going to be on the speed. So she said she wasn't too worried about having 2 in here because she feels like they're so different in the way they run that it could just set up for each of them to work out differently.
All right, my top pick in this race is going to be the 6, Crossing the Valley at 7-2. Alberto Burgos, good riding, 7-pound bug, rides for Robbie Bales. Now, this 5-year-old mare by Redeemed was the beaten favorite in this race last time. She was, 9-5 last time. She had a wide trip and finished an okay 4th. Let's show you that video from February 9th. Also, the 1 Trimmed in Gray comes out of this race, and the 11 Our True Sensations. So here they are turning for home. Our True Sensations in front. She's the 1 horse that day. Trimmed in Gray's coming. Trimmed in Gray's the 4 is going to get up for a good second. And the 6, Crossing the Valley, is just going to get up for an okay 4th this day. There's Crossing the Valley in the white Chatterall with the moving on the inside of the Gray horse. So I think a good finish there by Crossing the Valley. the winner of this race was a Glorious Mystery. Trimmed in Gray ran a big second in this race. Our True Station faded to third. But I thought my top pick, Crossing the Valley, was finishing well in that race. And if there's a lot of early speed, I think it sets it up for a closing sprinter like the 6 Crossing the Valley.
Yeah, I think it does indeed. That's also the reason I include Trimmed in Grey, based off both horses being horses with late speed that can really pick up the pieces if they are going too fast in front, and also hoping to keep them out of trouble. So if they do go wide with that sweeping closing run, which is so customary to us here at Laurel Park, that I do think that they can be very, very competitive late, and that might have us biting our nails right at the end of that first leg, right?
All right, so we all like the 1, the 6, and the 12. We all agree on those 3. Now, I like a 10-1 shot in the. I pick second. I use on my Stronach 5 ticket the 10 Star Designer. Third off the layoff. We've seen this movie before from Hammy Smith. Third off a long layoff. We're cutting back from route to sprint. We get one of the top riders in the race. Alex Cintron is going to give this filly a smart ride. He'll be coming from the back of the pack. I think the 10 Star Designer might run a big one today, and she's a generous 10-1 in leg A of the Stronach 5. So we had one scratch in this race. Take out the 5, Weeky Wood. Still a big 11-horse field to kick off the Stronach 5. Laurel Park, race 8 at about 3:49 Eastern. Let's turn the page. Leg B is Gulfstream Park, race 8, going a mile on the turf, claiming 16,004 and up. Let's take a look. The 7, Gosselently, and the 8, American Ninja. They're going to be your 2 favorites in this race. Let's check out their last race, January 18th down there at Gulfstream at this same level. Open 16,000 claimers, going 2 turns on the turf. Gosselently is going to finish a good second this day with an 82 buyer. American Ninja finishes a good third. They both just get beat. They both run big. American Ninja 4-1 today. Here's their last race down there at Gulfstream, January 18th.
I'm a very big fan of Go Silently. I've used him on my ticket as well because I think he has a lot of early speed. I do think that race actually showed that he used a lot of energy trying to get to the front, trying to stay to the front. Takes a lot of pressure, takes a lot of heat, and does still finish very strongly. And I think that's something that if you have a speed horse that still knows how to finish, they can be very dangerous.
All right, so how we talked about who do you use in this race for your on your ticket?
I use the 2 and the 7, so 2 very different horses. The 7 being a speed horse, and the 2 being more of a closing type. The 2 unlock the potential. Isn't very fast in braking, so I'm slightly bit worried about that. But do think that if you look at 2 races back, he showed an incredible turn of foot, and that's what I very much like to see on the turf. That's what I'm hoping to see at Gulfstream Park for the second leg of the Stronach 5.
You get a nice 9-2 on the 2. My 8-1 shot I like in leg B, the 11 National Honor, third off the layoff, run okay in the comeback races. You get I like the rider change today to Paco Lopez. Paco and Jane Sabelli, 29% and a nice positive ROI. So I think the 11 National Honor is live at 8-1 in leg B. Let's take a look. Leg C, Golden Gate Fields, race 3, maiden 25,000, straight 3-year-old, 6 furlongs on the Tapeta. I use my single in here, the 9-5 morning line favored Mr. McLean, second at this level last out. Went to the front. They went 21 and change, 45. They went very quick early. He was in front by 2, turning for home. Got a little tired at the end. He was the beaten favorite in that race, but now he's right back in for the maiden 25. There doesn't look like there's a lot of speed in this race at all, and they're going 6 furlongs. I'm hoping that Alvarado can get him to settle a little bit that the first half mile. They don't have to go 45. Maybe they can go 46 and change, and he'll still be in front. So I single on that. We have his video. Let's show you his last race, February 7th at Golden Gate. We have that video spotlight. There's Mr. McLean right there, turning for home after setting those fast early fractions on the left lead there. I don't like that, but does switch over to the right lead and looks like a winner right here. Just gets tired the final strides, but I don't think he has to go 45 for the opening half today in this spot.
No, he went very, very fast. So as you mentioned, hoping that he can do a little bit less up front early and really see out the trip a little bit better. Even though he looked so game, I thought he was going to win there. So that was just him getting caught by a horse that took full advantage of the fast pace, saved energy being behind him, whereas he used up all of his ammunition early.
All right, so he's the 9-5 favorite, the 2 Mr. McLean in leg C. Let's get to leg D. Santa Anita race 3, maiden 50,000 for straight 3-year-olds. 5.5 furlongs on the dirt. Bob Bafford's the 5-2 favorite in here with the 6, Raneem. But you have 3 well-bred first-time starters. Let's start with the 3, Fresh Race by Uncle Mo. She's a homebred for this owner, breeder, and trainer John Sadler. She's been working well at Santa Anita. Let's show you one of her workouts. Back in January 26th, she works a half mile this day. She works a half mile in 49. It was the 24th fastest work out of 74 works this day. So she's just working by herself, nice and easy this day. After this workout, she turned up the gas. She worked 3 real nice 5 furlong workouts, including recently 101 and 3. February 19th, but that's a decent little half-mile spin, easy 49. Uncle Mo filly, they've been patient getting her to the races. They have her in for the 50,000 in debut. I'm not so sure about that. A filly like this, you normally look for maiden special weights, don't you? But they have her in for the maiden 50 here in debut.
I thought the key takeaway from that workout is the type that she looks a bit more, tiny bit more compact, lots of bulging muscles, shorter stride, which exactly for the 5.5 furlongs suits her very well. I think that she's going to move along from this race here, but I included her because John Saddle, first time out, 18% winners. Like the pedigree as well, as I mentioned, half sister by Quality Road, won first time out over 5.5 furlong at Los Alamitos. Half sister by Mineshaft, won second time out, maiden claiming 50 level over 6 furlongs at Santa Anita Park. So the family shows that they can hit first time out.
All right, nice group of maidens here. Leg D, Santa Anita, race 3. We have enough time here for the last race. A big field, Leg E, Gulfstream Park, race 10, going a mile and a 16th on the turf, claiming 16,000, 4 and up, never won 2, lifetime. We have a video spotlight here on the 7, Sir Hosky, who's 9-2 this day. The Michelle Nehigh barn been ice cold this winter down there at Gulfstream. They're 0 for 12. Let's show you this horse's last race, though. It was a pretty good race. He comes very wide. He's the 11 horse this day as they turn for home. He's going to be way out there. There he is. He's about 6 wide turning for home. He gets up for a good third this day. Gets a 68 Beyer speed figure. This was his 3rd race back off the layoff, and he runs a lifetime best. So she has this 4-year-old Son of Kitten's Joy in good form, but the barn's kind of cold right now. This horse might be wide again on both turns, so I don't use the 7 Sir Hosky in this race. I used the 1 Ninja Dust at 7-2. Should get a nice ground-saving trip on the inside. And I like the 4 Noble Lion at 4-1 for Kelly Rubley. We know the Kelly Rubley barn around here pretty well. And Keith Fustel singles on the 4 Noble Lion in Leg E.
I didn't actually use the number 4, so perhaps that is me missing out because I have gone very deep in this leg. I went with the 1, the 5, the 9, and the 12, very much like the number 1 Ninja Dust. Thought that he ran well, good last year, comes off a bit of a layoff, but do think he can run well, fresh enough. But it's a very deep race. I thought this was tricky. I wanted to cover myself, especially at Gulfstream Park, going a mile 16 on the turf. As I've been told by many people that are based throughout the year out there, on the turf at Gulfstream Park, you can quite often have a horse that isn't supposed to win on paper, get through and actually get the closing kick and get there at the end. So I thought that was quite an interesting angle, thinking, you know what, this can be your race to actually get some value with some long shots to really get a nice payout.
Yeah, it's a big field, in this race, big 12-horse field. I like the 1 and the 4. Naomi goes 4 deep here. Keith singles on the 4. Noble Lion, big field here. Leggy, couple, Prado's 10-1 on the 2. Red Fog. This is a big field here. The 7 Sir Hosky, the video we showed you, I wish I could have used that horse. Just couldn't afford him on my ticket, so I'm just 2 deep here in Leggy at Gulfstream. That's it. We're out of time. It's going to be about $1 million in the pool today. We've been working on it all week long. Going to start Laurel Park. Race 8. Good luck on your ticket. I know you spent a lot of time on it. Good luck to Keith and Tim, and maybe somebody can take it down today.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how this is going to unfold, and good luck to everyone playing the Stronach 5 today, because we'll be watching every single leg quite intently.
All right, that's it. We're out of time. Dave Robin coming up next with today's scratches and changes. Good luck.